Welcome to another Air all-inclusive reviews video where we take the guesswork out of deciding on your next getaway. In today's video, we're going to discuss a very controversial topic when it comes to staying at an all-inclusive resort. Tipping.
Show me the money.
Show me the money!
This is discussed on various online forums and Facebook groups at length, and I might suggest you do a search to read some of the threads on the subject. It can get a little heated, with different people having different feelings and opinions on it, often depending on where they're from. See, most all-inclusive resorts say tips are included and tipping isn't required, but it kind of actually is once you arrive. Some resorts do have policies that could get staff in trouble if they accept tips, so please check with your resort first. If you have ever searched a resort's website for gratuity information, you probably came up a little short. Resort brands do not typically advertise their expectations in regards to tipping, and generally, they do not require you to tip. Some resorts, in fact, such as Couples and Sandals, actually have a publicized no tipping policy. That means you're not allowed to leave cash tips for housekeepers, bartenders, waitstaff, or other resort employees. Your room rate covers all gratuities. Guests should keep in mind that resort staff are people too. Resort staff in some of the most expensive resorts are often paid pretty poorly, but these workers constantly put on a smile and work their tails off for guests. Tipping is a vital source of income for many of the resort hospitality workers. A few dollars here and there might not seem like much, but it adds up when you're dealing with hundreds or thousands of guests in a season. And that little contribution from you can make a big difference in the quality of service you receive during your stay. But more importantly, it can have a major impact on that person being able to provide a living for their family. Treat them how you'd like to be treated, and remember that if an all-inclusive resort allows it, a small tip will go a long way. The idea of an all-inclusive resort is for you to not have to worry about everyday inconveniences like costs and bills. So they do not necessarily want you to worry about tipping either. However, if you have ever been to an all-inclusive resort, you will have noticed something. Almost every single guest will tip. It's one of those forces of habit that's hard to shake. When we receive great service, we want to show our appreciation with a tip. For many, it's just a polite thing to do. So while it is not expected and you do not have to, you will notice that tipping is normal at all-inclusive resorts. No one is going to bully you for tips. As we mentioned, it is not necessarily expected that you give a gratuity at all-inclusive resorts. So don't think any of the staff are going to make you feel bad about it. They are, on the whole, abundantly kind and appreciative when receiving tips. They do all they can to ensure you have a carefree, relaxing time, so even a small token of appreciation goes a long way. When should you tip at all-inclusive resorts? It might be tempting to tip once at the end of your trip for all the days you've stayed, but tipping early and throughout your stay will help get the staff's attention and make sure you get the best possible service. Also, there's no guarantee you'll be served by the same people every day over the course of your stay. So tipping daily will ensure everyone who has served you gets recognized for their service and receives some additional compensation. Not just those who served you on your last day. So now you are probably asking, if I am tipping, how much should I leave? Well, this is largely to your discretion, but the 20% rule generally doesn't apply here. For one, you are not paying a bill, so there is no way for you to know how much your meals cost anyway. Also, 20% is quite a bit higher than the norm for all-inclusives. Remember, you are eating at a restaurant or receiving room service for every single meal. If you are tipping $10 to $20 for every meal, it would add up really quick. Following is a general guideline of what most people consider appropriate for tipping while on property at an all-inclusive resort. We'll start off by covering what is the norm while dining. If you're eating at a buffet and being served beverages at the table, but otherwise primarily serving yourself, generally $1 to $5 for the table depending on the number of people in your group. If you're ordering from one of the buffet station chefs, like an omelet for example, leave $1. At any of the a la carte restaurants, you should consider $5 to $10 per couple dependent on the service you received and your overall dining experience. For room service, we suggest $5 to $10 depending on the complexity of your order and the time of day. Bartenders, the norm is $1 to $2 for every or every other drink order. Air hint: keep using and tipping the same bartender throughout the week, and you can count on getting excellent service. I know what you're probably thinking. How am I going to carry cash and tip at the swim-up bars? Air hint: pick up a waterproof pouch or case that can hold your phone, room key, cash, etc. These are truly essential to keep your valuable phone and cash with you, and more importantly, dry at all times. We've left some links down in the description for a couple of options we recommend that are available from Amazon. Before moving on, we would like to take a quick second to express our thanks for tuning in to this Air All-Inclusive Reviews video. If you find this information helpful and would like to see more educational videos like this one, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to be notified when we release new videos. Also, please feel free to share this video with others. Next up, we'll cover tipping for services. But first, here's an interesting story I'd like to tell.
Story time!
A pastor, a priest, and a rabbi are sitting at the bar.
I was just kidding! Come on! You guys know I was just kidding, right?
Here's the real story. Two sets of friends visited an all-inclusive resort, and they had rooms next door to one another. These friends applied different strategies in their tipping for housekeeping. One friend decided he would leave a few dollars every day on his pillow for housekeeping, and the other friend decided to wait until the last day and just leave a combined tip for the week. Cumulatively, they ended up tipping the same amount for housekeeping over the week. The difference was the friend that tipped daily received some nice extras. They received some beautiful towel art on their bed, extra beverages and snacks for the minibar, and an upgraded selection of toiletries that would normally be reserved for a different and higher room category. The point being, the staff appreciates when you recognize them for service they provide, and oftentimes they will show that appreciation by going above and beyond in providing even better service than what is expected.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
For daily housekeeping, leave $2 to $3 per day. Leave this laying on your pillow so that housekeeping knows that it's for them. Also, if there's something specific you would like stocked in your minibar, leave a note and they will try and accommodate it. For the bellman or shuttle drivers that will deliver your luggage to your room, it's standard to tip $1 per suitcase that they bring. While visiting the spa and enjoying an individual service like a massage, pedicure, or manicure, tip an extra $5 to $20 as you see fit based on what service you are receiving and the quality of the service you received. If you're using the services of the concierge to either make reservations for restaurants, tea times for golf, or help booking an excursion, it's customary to tip them anywhere from a few dollars up to $10 if they are doing a lot for you. Finally, what is the best currency to tip with? Should you use Mexican pesos or US dollars? Is there a benefit to using one over another? We've asked this specific question to resort staff to see if they have a preference or to see if there is a benefit for them to receive one form of currency over another, and we've gotten mixed responses. Some prefer receiving pesos, and some prefer US dollars. If you are going to use US currency, only use bills because it is very difficult for them to exchange US coins. Due to the fluctuating currency exchange values, there may actually be a benefit for them to receive US dollars as opposed to pesos. As an example, if we look at the historical exchange rate over the past 12 months, one US dollar has been worth as much as almost 23 pesos and as little as 19.5 pesos. That's a 15% fluctuation in value. So there's a measurable benefit in tipping with US dollars. Not to mention the convenience of not having to mess with exchanging your currency either at a bank before arriving in Mexico or doing the exchange after you arrive. Unfortunately, the exchange services at the airport do not give you the most favorable exchange rate. So our suggestion is to just use US dollars. Bring plenty of $1 bills, $5 bills, and maybe some $10 bills. As a novelty, we've also seen lots of people that like to pick up some $2 bills to bring with them as well. In concluding, we know the topic of this video can be quite controversial, and there are strong feelings on both sides about whether you should tip at an all-inclusive resort or not. Our purpose in producing this video is to inform and educate travelers about the topic. Please comment below if you have any other tips or suggestions that could be helpful. Our only ask is that everyone please be civil in the comments.
No fighting.
Thank you again for taking time to watch this Air All-Inclusive Reviews video. If you liked the information we covered today, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you can be notified when we release our upcoming videos.